Hello, my friend. Thank you for being here today. There are days when the universe sends us a signal so clear, we simply cannot ignore it. And September 30th is one of those moments. A new door is opening for you, a door where wealth is not only money, but also the fullness of your heart. And when destiny places true love in your hands, you'll realize every loss you once endured was only clearing the path for this very moment. So come with me, let's begin this journey. The first light appears now, the moment of recognizing who you truly are, and the flame within you that can never be put out. Aries, when the cards open before you, the first image that appears is never random. The Emperor, seated strong upon his throne, eyes fixed forward, unshaken, unafraid. This is not just a symbol, it is a mirror reflecting you. Deep down, you were born to lead, to open the way, to be the light in the dark. The universe does not need you to beg. It does not need you to wait for anyone's approval. It only asks you to remember your true nature has never changed. In Buddhist teaching, there is a belief that the seed of awakening, the clear light of wisdom, is already within every human being. But life, with its layers of dust and noise, makes us forget. We search outside, we beg for recognition, while the true flame has always been burning within. Aries, you've had many nights of doubt. You've let others define who you are. You've questioned your own light, but now September 30th brings a clear message. Remember, you are the flame that leads, not the one who follows. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the road ahead, each stone laid by your own hands, each step pressed into the ground by your courage. No one else has the right to say where you should go. No one can pull you back. When you take hold of the wheel of your own life, you see the truth. Every fear you carried was only an illusion. Your true power lies in your choice. And something even deeper, when you return to your true nature, you not only free yourself, you awaken others. In today's world, so many have lost direction, lost in noise, in social media, in standards that don't belong to them. But when just one person dares to stand tall, to live true, that person becomes a lighthouse for the whole community. Aries, that is you. You don't need to shout. You don't need to prove. Your very presence, steady, real, uncompromising with the false, is enough to make others question their own lives. There's an old story often told. A lion raised among sheep learned to bow its head, learned to fear, forgetting its strength. One day it saw its reflection in the water, and the truth struck. It had never been a sheep. It was a lion born with the power of ages. Aries, so are you. Perhaps you have lived inside a small frame, chained by doubt. But the truth is, you were born to lead, to carve new paths. This September 30th is not just a date on the calendar. It is an awakening. It is the milestone the universe placed on your path to remind you the time has come. The time to stop waiting. The time to stop doubting. The time to stop dimming your own light. It is the time to stand tall, knowing exactly who you are. And from that moment, new doors begin to open. Ask yourself, when was the last time you felt you didn't need permission? You just listened to your heart and walked forward. That was the moment you lived true. Share it, because your story might be the flame someone else needs to find their way back to their own light. Aries, you were not born to be a copy. You were born to be original, not to wait for someone else to call your name, but to speak your own name over the road you walk. And when you realize this, your power returns. A power not to dominate, but to build, not to control, but to guide, not to prove, but to live fully. With every deep breath, you can feel that flame still there, never gone, waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to touch it, waiting for you to say yes. And the moment you say yes, your life begins to change color. And in that very moment, when you reclaim your power, something else, something miraculous begins to stir. A wide door swings open, carrying you into a higher realm of your journey. Not only the strength within, but streams of lasting abundance already on their way to find you. When we talk about wealth, most people think of numbers in a bank account, of shiny coins resting in their hands. But the image the cards reveal today speaks of something far greater. The 10 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles are not a promise of luck that comes and goes. They are an affirmation of a new foundation, a stream of prosperity that no longer fades, but becomes a legacy. Picture a dry garden cracked by years of drought. The soil split open, looking lifeless. And then the first rains fall, and every crack becomes a place where seeds break through, sending out fresh green shoots. That is you right now. After so many seasons of struggle, life begins to bloom from the fractures of your past. In Buddhist teaching, wealth is not seen as a gift only for ourselves. It is a tool, a seed of merit to be planted. When we accumulate not to feed the ego but to share, to lift others up, then wealth becomes a river that never runs dry. True prosperity is not measured by how much you keep, but by how much you give to help your community grow. Look at the Nine of Pentacles. It shows a figure standing in a garden full of fruit and flowers, serene and proud, not leaning on anyone else. Their abundance was built through patience and self-reliance. It is not borrowed wealth, not a gift handed down, but the harvest of their own perseverance. And that is the message for you today. What you reap now is the result of all those days you refused to quit, those nights you stood back up when the world felt nothing but dark. Then comes the Ace of Pentacles, a golden seed placed in your hand. A chance, a gift, a doorway into a new cycle of abundance. It could be a rising project, an unexpected job, an investment that finally pays off, or even a resource you thought was lost, now returned. But more important than what it is that you are ready to hold it. The universe does not place great gifts in the hands of those who cannot yet cherish them. It entrusts them to those who have learned to stand firm through storms. Wealth is no longer a passing breeze. It has become a root. And from that root, not only you are nourished, but those around you feel its warmth. Maybe your family grows more secure. Maybe your community thrives from your generosity. Maybe a struggling friend finds strength because you chose to lift them. And it is in that giving, in that ripple outward, that you finally touch the higher meaning of prosperity. Look back for a moment. There were long winters, endless days when you believed you had nothing left. But today, every hardship has become the soil where new seeds grow. The dry ground within you is blossoming now, and these flowers don't bloom for you alone. They bloom so the whole world can breathe their fragrance. Ask yourself, what achievement in your life makes you most proud? What did you build slowly against the odds that now fills your heart with joy? Share it. Because when you tell your story, you not only honor yourself, you hand someone else a spark, a reminder that they too can endure, they too can create. Lasting wealth is not cold money locked away in a box. It is a river that flows, a source that nourishes, a mark you leave behind. And when you learn to see prosperity as a seed of blessing, your life changes. You no longer fear loss because you know that in giving, the current only grows stronger. And then, in the midst of all this abundance, another gift begins to appear. A gift that cannot be counted in gold, cannot be measured in silver. It is the arrival of true love, a love that heals the heart after its wounds, a love that comes to support rather than to take. Because the universe is not only sending prosperity, it is also bringing you a love that is real, a love meant to mend your soul. Love, at its deepest level, is not possession and not empty promises. It is not a metal ring that tightens freedom and not something that exists to feed anyone's ego. True love is like water from a pure spring flowing into your life, softening the calluses of the heart, whispering gently, "You are worthy of love," without needing to prove anything. The Ace of Cups, the overflowing chalice, is a symbol of divine giving. It doesn't promise a fleeting joy, it opens a stream that never runs dry. That cup may be the arrival of someone new, bringing you a rare sense of safety. Or it may be renewal within a love you already have, two hearts once closed, now opening again. And when the Queen of Cups appears, that love is not cold, not harsh, but arms that embrace, a heart that listens, that holds even the unspoken pain. Have you ever felt too broken to love again? That your heart was torn beyond repair? Yet it is through those cracks that the light of love enters, like a Japanese kintsugi bowl, where the breaks are not hidden but sealed with gold, turning scars into veins of beauty. Your heart is the same. Every wound you carry does not lessen your worth. It makes you a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, shining in the light of true love. The Ten of Cups arrives like a promise of wholeness. It is the vision of family, of laughter, of a home where you can finally be yourself. Not a passing romance, but a foundation. That love could be a hand holding yours when you tremble, eyes that understand you without a word, or a moment in a room where you know you don't have to wear a mask anymore. In today's world where so many relationships are just shadows, real love has become more precious than ever. It doesn't come to fill your emptiness, but to remind you that you were never lacking. It doesn't dim your light. It stands beside you so your light can burn brighter. When you meet this love, you'll know. You won't need to beg for attention. You won't have to shrink yourself to fit someone else's frame. You will be free, and that freedom is the very essence of love. Yes, you may have endured loves that left only pain. You may have thought love was a chain of sacrifices without return. But on a higher level, love is two souls walking together, growing together, healing together. That person won't be perfect, but they will be a mirror, showing you your truest self, and you will become the mirror for them. Take a moment, remember a time, even small, when you felt loved without doing anything at all. Maybe it was the look in your parents' eyes. Maybe it was the hand of an old friend who held you through trouble. Maybe it was someone's arms wrapped around you, long and wordless, without judgment. Those moments are the seeds of true love. Share them. Because when we speak of real love, we plant faith in other hearts. And you see, when both wealth and love knock at your door, life becomes a garden watered by two sacred streams. But before you step fully into that fullness, the universe asks you to witness something else. Because no light can shine without making the shadows fall away. And around you, the false, the hidden, the connections that are no longer true begin to crumble. There are moments in life when it feels like everything is breaking apart in your hands. A wall that stood solid for years suddenly cracks and crumbles. A familiar face reveals layers of masks you never knew were there. The things you trusted, the things you held so tightly turn to ashes. That is the feeling of the tower when it appears. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It simply knocks and brings down whatever is no longer real. The Seven of Swords speaks of secrecy, of deceit, of hands hiding knives behind their backs. It could be a friend who swore loyalty, yet vanished when you needed them most. It could be a relationship where betrayal lived quietly beneath the silence. It could be an environment full of schemes, where smiles and compliments were only masks covering envy. No matter how clever, none of these can stand forever. Then comes the Five of Swords, showing the cost of manipulation. Someone may think they've won by hurting you, but in the law of cause and effect, no one truly profits from cruelty. Every act sends out a wave, and sooner or later, that wave returns. But what matters is not their cruelty. What matters is how you choose to face it. You could be pulled into anger, or you could stand steady in silence, letting the universe do the rest. In Buddhist teaching, this is called without blame, without hatred. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean excusing the wrong. Forgiveness is choosing not to carry more chains. When you let go, you are the one who is free. The false will fall so the truth can stand. That is the law. Once the fake walls collapse, the light can enter. Yes, it may hurt. Yes, you may feel raw, even empty. But in that quiet space, remember, whatever remains is what's real. And only the real can feed your soul. Pause for a moment. Think of a relationship, a situation, a deception you once released. At first, your heart may have felt torn apart. But after, didn't you feel lighter? Didn't you sense a wide open space inside you? That is the moment the shadows fall and you return to truth and to freedom. If you have a story like that, share it. Because your story could be the key for someone else still struggling in the dark, to realize they too can step into the light. When we look deep into the ruins, we see something important. Nothing ever collapses without leaving a new foundation behind. Every breaking is an invitation to clear away the false and prepare for a brighter beginning. Every time the darkness falls, it's not an ending, it is the silence before dawn. The tower is not only frightening, it is also beautiful, beautiful because it is honest. It will not let you live forever in illusion. It says, the time has come. You deserve the truth. You deserve the light. And in the dust and smoke of the fallen walls, a powerful light begins to rise. Not a light to dim you, but a light to lift you higher. Because right there within the collapse, a greater light appears, the light of victory and of recognition. As the dust of collapse clears, a new image rises before you. Not darkness, not fear, but the pounding hooves of a chariot on a bright road. The chariot moves forward, unbound by the past, no longer trapped in doubt. It drives ahead steady, decisive, carrying the force of will and the fire of faith. This is the symbol of your journey now, stepping into a moment of victory. The Six of Wands appears like the cheers of a crowd, like the laurel crown placed upon you after years of endurance. This is not a victory that fell from the sky. It is the reward for those who refuse to give up on steep climbs and broken roads. Every fall, every rise has become recognition. Fame, light, affirmation, not only to shine your name but to prove one thing: your faith in yourself was never wasted. And then the sun shines, dissolving every cloud, a light that cannot be hidden. It reveals your true face. No more masks to win acceptance, no more shrinking in the shadows to please someone else. You shine naturally, unstoppably. And the miracle is, your light doesn't just guide your own path. It spills over to everyone around you. Think back for a moment. Remember a time when someone finally recognized you after all your quiet effort. Maybe it was applause at your graduation. Maybe the proud eyes of family when you overcame hardship. Maybe just a silent nod enough to let you know you were seen. How did it feel? Not just joy, but strength. The strength to keep walking. That is the true meaning of victory, not just to glow alone, but to become the flame that awakens faith in others. Real success does not end with personal glory. It begins when you use your light to guide those still wandering in the dark. This world is full of tired eyes and restless hearts. When you rise in victory, you stand not only for yourself, but for them, for everyone who ever doubted that light could return. In Buddhist teaching, merit is not only in what we achieve, but in how we use our success to plant good seeds for life. When you have recognition, position, and influence, it is not the end of your road. It is your chance to lift others higher. When you share, when you guide, when you open doors for those still struggling, only then does your success truly endure. Maybe you dreamed of this moment for years, the day you'd be honored, acknowledged, called by name before the world. And now that it has come, let your light become a bridge. Let this victory belong not only to you, but to those who walked beside you, to those who come after you, to hearts that need a living proof that effort is never unseen. Your light is living proof that darkness never wins forever, that persistence, courage, and honesty are always rewarded in the end. And the most beautiful truth is, your light is not just yours. It shines on other paths. It opens hope for countless souls. So share your story. Share the moment you were finally recognized after all those silent efforts. Because when you tell it, you don't just honor yourself, you breathe strength into those still climbing who haven't yet seen the peak. And then, in the cheers and the blazing light, you'll realize something deeper. Success, no matter how radiant, is only a pause along the road. Because there is another voice calling, louder, deeper, more sacred. Victory is only the beginning, for what awaits is greater, the calling of your soul and the mission of your spirit. There are moments in life when you suddenly hear a sound no one else can hear, a call from within echoing like it comes from somewhere far away, yet strangely familiar. It is not the voice of society, not the weight of expectation, not the mold you were told to fit. It is the call of your soul, and when judgment appears, it reminds you that the time has come to rise, to step out of the grave of what is old and return to the original light that God planted in you from the very beginning. Picture that scene: dawn after a long night, people lifting their heads at the sound of the trumpet. From the shadows they rise, brushing off the dust, ready to receive new life. No one is left behind, no one is forgotten, and neither are you. Every challenge, every detour, every tear that once made you feel meaningless was only preparing you for this moment. Then the star appears, gentle like a guiding star across the wide sky. Its light is not harsh, not blinding, but patient, steady, shining on each step. It restores faith where it was broken, whispering that life still holds space for miracles. The star speaks like the Creator himself. You have never been alone. I am still here, and I still want you to shine exactly the way you were born to shine. And in that moment, the Ace of Wands ignites like a primal flame, not the fire of anger, not the fire of destruction, but the fire of beginnings, of life, of creation. That flame has always been inside you. It was only buried beneath worry, fear, and the weight of expectations that were never yours to carry. Now it is lit again, and you know a new journey, a new role, a new mission is waiting. Every soul is born with a vow, some to heal, some to lead, some to create new value. And you, at this stage of your life, have begun to see that the suffering you endured was never meaningless. It was not sent to imprison you, but to forge you into a vessel for something greater. Every tear you shed was watering the flame you now carry. So pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what makes my heart come alive even when no one pays me, even when no one applauds? What would I still choose to do even if no one noticed? There you will find your mission. And when you live true to it, the universe clears the path. God opens the door, and nothing can hold you back. Not everyone hears this call at the same time. Some hear it as children, others not until their hair has turned gray. But once you listen and once you dare to follow, the whole sky changes. Doors you thought were locked begin to open, unexpected companions appear, and the path straightens beneath your feet, leading you to the place your heart has longed for all along. In Buddhist teaching, they say every pain carries within it a seed of wisdom. In the Bible, they say every trial is training, shaping you to stand stronger in faith. And in your life, these truths meet, reminding you no step is wasted. Every step has been bringing you here to this greater call, the call of your soul. Can you share the moment when you first realized your life was not just about surviving, but about serving something higher? When you tell that story, you do more than honor yourself. You plant faith in other wandering hearts. Because somewhere out there, someone may be waiting for your story to find their own strength to rise. Then, when your mission becomes clear, you'll see it plainly. The old cycle closes not with regret, but with glory. And a new era, fuller and brighter, opens before you, and you are the one chosen to step into that light. There comes a time when a long journey finally closes, and you realize you are no longer walking alone. Every step, every tear, every smile, all of it comes together, forming a complete circle. That is the energy of the world: completion, fulfillment, the return to wholeness. You are no longer the broken seeker, no longer the one searching. You become the one who carries the answer, the light, and the faith that has been tested through countless trials. The King of Wands rises, the matured flame of Aries, a fire that no longer burns just to prove its strength, but has become a steady lantern guiding the way for others. This king does not need to roar to show power, because authority radiates from within. Confidence is no longer a mask but depth, shaped by pain, by persistence, by a faith that never abandoned you. And this maturity transforms you into an anchor, an inspiration, a safe ground for those who come after. Then the Ten of Pentacles unfolds the vision of legacy. Not just money, not just possessions, but a home built strong from true values, the embrace of family overflowing with love, a spiritual wealth that flows forward into generations yet to come. When you heal yourself, you are also healing your ancestors and those not yet born. Every time you break a cycle of suffering, you change the destiny not only of yourself, but of everyone who carries your blood. Remember this: real success is never for you to sit and enjoy alone. It is the foundation, the bridge, the stone for others to step upon. When you pass on what you've learned, you leave behind a gift greater than any fortune. It could be a faith that never dies. It could be wisdom carved from your wounds. It could be unconditional love, planted deep in the hearts of your children. You are not only writing your story, you are rewriting the history of those who walked before you. Maybe now is the time to ask yourself, what do I want to leave behind as my spiritual legacy? Not titles, not numbers in a bank, but something that touches their hearts, lifts them when they stumble. Share that, because your story might one day light the path of people you never meet, but who are forever blessed by the light you left. And when one circle closes, another opens. The journey never truly ends. But here in this moment, you can pause, smile, and know you have lived true. Thank you for listening. Thank you for walking this soul journey together. And may you, Aries, always receive the wealth, the love, and the light the universe has prepared for you.